Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine. Tubby's here helping me out today. Um, Today I'm going to give you sort of some range of motion and some easy strength exercises you can do if you're limited to sitting or laying down. Maybe you've just had surgery, or you're having a day where you just want a little bit of movement and you don't have to worry about working too hard. You know, sometimes we have really tired days, but you still want to do something. So you're going to be either in a chair or on your bed or on the floor for this one. So you can do them in your bed, you can sit up on the edge of your bed, do some of them, or you can sit in a chair and do these. So we're going to start with overhead band pull downs. So I just want you to put the band over your head like this, and we're going to pull straight down. So I'm going to raise my camera up just a little bit. So really, I just want you to go straight overhead and then pull down to about here. So it's not a super far movement. You're pulling down to about the point where the band hits your shoulders. So just a good range of motion and a little bit of lat and back and shoulder activation. Kind of good to get those muscles working if you haven't been moving much lately. Really, when you're doing quote unquote easier workouts like this, you can really focus on your breath. So remember that diaphragmatic breathing. Really using your tummy. You want to have your tummy rise and fall, your diaphragm. Really using that diaphragm to pull those lungs open and you really get some good breath movement. If nothing else, really working on breath movement can be a really beneficial thing. Now, one thing to think about here is when your arms are overhead like this, don't let them be up like this. So think about keeping your shoulders down. Even though you're bringing your arms up overhead, your shoulders are staying down. Okay, so overhead pull downs. Next, we're going to do a chest press. So you can either kind of stick your band right behind you like this, get a little bit of resistance, or if you're sitting in a chair, you can loop it around the back of the chair and then press forward, and then it won't be pressing on you. But one thing you can think about is just staying nice and tall, engaging your core a little bit, and just pressing nice and straight forward. So you don't have to be sitting up nice and tall for this. You can be leaning backwards, especially if you're trying to avoid 90 degrees. Pressing straight forward. And again, keeping those shoulders down away from your ears. All right, good. I need to make sure my camera can see my feet here. Okay, so the next one is just some heel toe raises. So I'm going to turn to the side here. But sitting in your chair, you can do this anywhere. And this is another really great thing to do if you're going to be getting on an airplane, because this gets the toes and feet and calf muscles activated, working as a muscle pump to get that get some swelling, if you have any lower extremity swelling, back up to your heart. So just going up as high as you can on your toes here, and then as high as you can on your heels here, just ankle range of motion. And think about using all of your toes. Every little bit of muscle activation you can get in those lower extremities can really help with that muscle pump and just really kind of get your blood flowing again. This is a good thing to do on long car trips. Like I said, airplane, of course, because there's lower extremity swelling is a big problem on airplanes. But you can do those kind of as long as they feel good. You know, so you can do 10 and then move on to the next one and repeat through them. Or these, it would be easy to just kind of do, you know, as long as they feel good. Maybe do one set through, maybe do 2 sets through, 1 set in the beginning of the day, maybe another set later in the day if you're feeling up to it. Okay, next we're going to do another one you can do. It depends on if you're sitting or standing, but if you're lying down in your bed, you want to get a little bit of core activation. So your TA squeezes. So if you're lying in your bed and you can bring your feet up to about here, you don't even need to be able to bring your feet up, but just a little bit can help. So we want to think about flattening your back to the floor. I talk about this all the time, and whenever we're in this position, is flattening your back to the floor. So just contracting those lower abdominals, those transverse abdominal muscles. So when you cough, they're kind of the ones that engage. So just lying there, squeezing those abdominal muscles and then releasing. So it's not a big movement. It's really a static hold, not a big movement. And one other thing here is we can focus on your breath. So take a breath before you start and then slowly breathe out as you hold that low, deep abdominal muscle contraction. And you can even press your hands on your belly and really make sure you're feeling that good engagement. All right, good. So that's a good one you can do while you're lying in your bed. If you need, you kind of want to just activate your core a little bit. Make sure you're getting some good muscle activation. Let's see, another one you can do in your bed, or if you're lying on the sofa or anything, you can put your leg out to the side of the bed, or you could, prop it up on a pillow maybe, put a pillow under your knees. We'll do, because I'm just going to hold it here because I don't have a pillow propped up. I can use my balance disc, because that's what I'll do. So I'll put them on top of my ear, and we're going to do just ankle range of motion. So I'm just going to show you with one foot, but just do side to side, so ankle inversion and eversion, but just think about getting as much range of motion there side to side as you can. You can think, 10 times or, during one commercial or something if you're watching TV, and then point and flex. So it's okay if your knee points and flex here too, but we're working on that ankle. So similar to that heel toe raises we did seated. You can do both of your feet at the same time, or you can do one at a time, if you've got pain in one side or not the other. And then let's work on ankle circles. So we'll do 10 circles to the outside. These are good to do kind of anytime. They're good ankle strengthening, but also, now we're going to switch and go back to the inside. They're great for range of motion, for if you do have lower extremity swelling. If you're on, like I said, if you're on an airplane or in a car too long, you can do these seated in your seat too, these ankle range of motion. Okay, now, if your ankles aren't getting tired, but this is another one you can do is the alphabet. So you can spell out the alphabet, and you can do it all sorts of different ways. You can do lowercase, you can do uppercase, you can do cursive, or if you don't want to just spell out the alphabet, you can spell out your name, right through your whole, first, middle, and last name. You can write out your grandkids' names. There's lots of different ways to do it, and really all it's doing is just getting really good muscle pump. So it's good for lower extremity swelling. It's good for ankle strengthening, which is great for balance, especially if you can't do any balance stuff right now and you want to work on it. Make sure you're keeping that range of motion in your ankles. It's so good for a lot of things. So a lot of us have had a little bit of trauma somehow, some way throughout our life in our ankles, whether it's the ankle sprain or something with plantar fasciitis. These are great for plantar fasciitis as well. Lots of different reasons to be doing these. Even if you're doing a full strength and cardio workout every day, these are good ones to do, on the sofa at night while you're watching TV. Do it during commercials or whatever. Okay, now we're going to stand back up. We're not going to be standing. We're going to be in a chair. So we're going to just do the same. Let's see if I'm in here. Seated in your chair. And we're going to do bicep curls. So if you need a little help getting this under your feet, there might be people around who can help you with that. And we're going to do bicep curls. So just seated in your chair. The other way you can do it is If somebody's around to help you loop it under your chair like this, depending on what your, your chair looks like, you can have it seated, sitting there so you can grab it and do bicep curls anytime you want. But just, really just getting some muscles moving, getting some blood pumping, something that you can do if, you've just had surgery, or if, I'm talking about lower extremity surgery here, or if, you just need a little bit of something to do at your desk. These are great ones to do at your desk if you're sitting on a Zoom meeting. Even you can turn your camera off, or, at least just put it on your face, and you wouldn't be able to see me doing this if I had it on my face and not on my, the other thing is I've had other people do exercises like this on their Zoom meetings. If they're having a little bit of a break, or if you're like, you can even implement if you're having a long one. I have a couple clients who are on 3-4 hour Zoom meetings, and I think, you have to implement breaks, and you can be a good example in that and say, hey, let's take a pause. Let's take a movement pause here. We all need to stand up and stop sitting in front of our cameras. So you can either do it together, you could be a great example, or you can just turn your camera off and do it while you're listening to someone else talk about something. There's lots of ways. It's not good to sit for 3 to 4 hours on those Zoom calls. Okay, then we can work on arm range of motion, just getting those arms moving. And you can do this lying down in your bed or seated in a chair. But so just bringing your arms up overhead and repeating that motion, just nice and slowly. And again, if you're sitting on a Zoom call and you need to move, this is a great thing to do. If you're on a Zoom call and you want to stand up, this would be even better. But just bringing those arms forward and back. And then, so maybe do that 10 times. And then we're going to go just kind of all the way up and down here. And this is another great chance to work on that breath control and that breathing. So seated, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Okay, one thing I do want you to focus on though is not letting those shoulders come up around your ears when you do this. Keep those shoulders down. Work on that posture, breathing in and out. Just getting those arms moving, it works on activating those muscles. It's a good warm-up. These are good warm-ups you can do before a big exercise routine too, just to start those muscles thinking about moving. Okay, so there's lots of things you can do too. You can go forward and back, just reaching back, get a good chest stretch, then hug, back, hug, just getting some range of motion. And you know what? You're going to feel it probably in your deltoids a little bit, just holding your arms out to the side for a little bit. So just good upper body movement and range of motion. Okay, and the last one is we're going to do a little bit of trunk rotation. So thinking about moving your spine just a little bit. So depending on where you're at, you can do this. I would, just kind of moving side to side like this. So not a very big movement. Notice that my hips and legs are not moving at all. I'm just simply rotating through my thoracic spine, just getting some good movement. And that's going to feel really good to just kind of stretch and activate your spine a little, activate your core a little, and just move. You can hold your arms like this. You can hold them here. You can hold them out to the side, whatever feels good here. We're just kind of working on some rotation. And then you can also kind of reach up to the side and hold, and reach up to the side over here and hold. But just getting that movement, stretching out your core a little, stretching out your back a little, and just really kind of getting other things woken up while you're healing other parts of your body. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. Like I said, these are great ones you can do for lots of different reasons, whether you're on a Zoom call or you're on an airplane or you're recovering from a surgery or an injury. These are really a great kind of set of things to have in your toolbox. All right, thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.